Assalamu alaikum. Singayas Jordias. Mushkobi Hishukurdi Jordio. Sharaglas. Hi, and welcome to Afghan Cooks. I hope you're doing well. I'm not able to really think very clearly right now because my arm is very tired from holding up this amazingly gorgeous rice pudding, which is what we're going to make today on Afghan Cooks. So rice pudding is called shir birinj, and shir, as we know, is milk, right? And Berenj is rice. So shir birinj is rice and milk, rice pudding. Here's some arborio rice, which is the stuff that you use for risotto. And we're gonna use 1, 2, 3, 4. We're making a lot of rice pudding because inshallah, we're gonna have a lot of people tonight. 5. And then we can give it away to people too if there's leftover and they want to take it home. And now I have here some water. We're gonna add the water to this and let it soak, and then we're gonna go to the store. The rice has actually been soaking for quite some time now. I am going to turn on my pot and I'm gonna add the rice. I got rid of some of the water in it. And we're gonna cook it just a little bit with just some water, okay? Now the reason why we make this with arborio rice is because, and we don't rinse it the way we do normally, is we want it to be starchy, right? It's rice pudding, and you know how risotto is kind of like creamy and gloopy? Gloopy is not a good word for food. That's what we want for our rice pudding as well, okay? I have the other ingredients here as well, and I'm gonna show you what we have. I have some half and half, and I use half and half so that I don't have to use milk and heavy cream. There you go. I have here some saffron that I have in some warmish water. It smells like saffron, it's beautiful, and there's quite a bit of it in there. I have salt. I have orange blossom water and also rose water here. I have, of course, cardamom. And we have some pistachios here that we'll add as well. There's some whole cardamom in case we need it. And then I have, here is my big bucket of sugar. Okay, so we're gonna use all of that. For now, we're just gonna let this come to a boil, and we're gonna let it cook for about 10 or 15 minutes. So now we have this, it's parboiled. It's not entirely cooked all the way through, and we've got our half and half. And we will have measurements and everything in the description. This is a half a gallon. And remember, I think we had 4 or 5 cups of rice in here. So we're gonna add this entire half a gallon to, because what we want is we want the rice to cook in the milk. Okay, so the rice cooks in the milk. You need a short grain rice that is very starchy, something that will make a sticky rice. And our white rice that we normally use does not ever really make a sticky rice, even if you really try very hard. You want to make sure this doesn't burn, okay? I have this up high, but I'm standing right here watching it. And as soon as I start to see the bubbles coming up around the side, I'm going to turn it down. You can see the bubbles starting to come around the sides. Now we want to turn it down once we see that happening so that we don't burn the rice or the milk, okay? Now I want this to be infused with the flavor of cardamom. So I'm going to add my cardamom now. And I'm going to add some rose water to it as well so that the rice bits are infused as they cook. We're going to add 1, 2 cupfuls of rose. We're going to have another dessert at this party too that is rose and orange blossom and cardamom, so you should watch for that video as well. And we're going to add 1.5 of the orange blossom. We are not going to add the sugar to it yet. We're going to let it cook a little bit before we add the sugar to it. We're going to let it cook a little bit before we add the saffron to it too. I'm going to add another capful. I don't usually make this much rice pudding, so I'm going to add 2 more capfuls of the rose. You can see that the rice is already starting to eat up the half and half. So that's why you stand, you mix, and then you have another thing of milk or half and half or heavy cream ready just in case, okay? So you'll notice that I have another thing of half and half here at the ready, depending on how hungry, how thirsty my rice is. We're gonna add just a little bit of this saffron water to this. I'm going to add a healthy pinch of salt. Just like with risotto, if you have made risotto, you do have to be ready because sometimes you need more liquid, sometimes you need less. You just have to watch it to see, okay? If I give you an exact amount, you're going to come back and say, oh, I had too much, or oh, I had too little. So this is a half a gallon already added. You saw how liquidy it was before, and you see how thick it is now. All right, now we're gonna add our sugar, and we're gonna start with 1.5 cups of sugar. Now I'm gonna give it a taste to see if it needs any additional sugar, salt, saffron, whatever it needs, okay? I'm going to add just a small amount of the saffron water. Another pinch of salt. And now it actually just has to cook. There are some pieces of rice that are still a little bit too chewy. We don't want that. We want it all to be very soft, okay? Our rice pudding is done. It took about an hour altogether of stirring and stirring and stirring and maybe adding a little more liquid as you saw until you got it to the consistency that you like. I'm not mad at this rice pudding. And the flavors behind it are so subtle. Like your brain is kind of like reaching in the back. Like, what is that flavor? I know, I recognize it from somewhere. And of course it's the rose and the orange blossom. But it's got like, I don't know, like this memory, right? It jolts a memory. If you have a memory of eating rice pudding with rose in it, like it will give you that feeling inside of yourself. Like, anyway, like my channel, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit the bell notification because our plan is to make many, 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 many more videos. Subscribe. It will be my birthday gift. Also, don't forget to, if you want to support Afghan refugees, you can see I have my Amazon wish list for refugee resettlement items down below. But we appreciate you and all you are doing to help my Wakanda, my country people. So until next time, thank you. Bye.